This is what your Marvel Rivals main says about you, Vanguard Edition. So up first we have Angela, and Angela mains are a very determined and persistent bunch of characters because what do you mean? I'm playing a character who can fly, and then every single character in the entire video game has an ability to stop me from flying. You're either diving into the backline and successfully repositioning people and forcing out ults and cooldowns and an absolute monster, in which case people are trying to ban you permanently as soon as they find out you're goated with her, or B, you're diving into the backline and you're instantly getting hit by 65 CCs and knockdowns. You dive into the backline, you get hit by a Mantis Sleep, a Luna Freeze, a Thing knockdown, Devil Dino grabs you, knocks you down, and then Bucky hooks you and just bends you over. And then you're just sitting there in the hero select screen like, damn, I gotta switch again. And you're absolutely malding about it. But huge respect to Angela players because sometimes I like playing her and it's just an absolute nightmare. Hulk players, I don't even know what to say about Incredible Hulk players. You have to be clinically insane to play the Incredible Hulk because he's absolutely awful. He's like a dive tank. And he's somehow worse than Angela in this regard because all a Hulk's lifespan is jumping into the enemy backline, punching their healer twice, getting chain stunned 6 times in a row, trying to jump out, getting chain stunned mid-air, trying to jump out again, getting turned back to Bruce Banner, and then poking until you get Hulk back. And then when you go into your World Breaker form, it's even worse somehow. You just get stunned, and then your ult is over and you literally did nothing. There are a few Hulks that are absurdly cracked, but they're very few and far between. Honestly, Captain America mains, I don't even know what's going on in your guys' head. I can't even place what's happening in the Captain America main's head because they're literally never doing anything. They're kind of like Hulk, except for not as big of a CC battery, right? They jump into the backline, punch the healer in the mouth a couple times, and then they just dip out. I rarely ever see Captain Americas get any kills, but they do have the best stalling ult in the game, so, I mean, at least they got that going for them. Probably one of the worst ults in the game. Half the time I'm just like, oh shit, Cap's ulting, just ignore him, he'll go away soon. Up next is tank pool mains, and there's pretty much 2 sides to tank pool mains. Either there's the hard sweat meta comp lords who know that he's absolutely insanely cracked, or there's the people who are just there to vibe with Deadpool and enjoy his character. I very rarely, surprisingly, see a tank pool do very good. But let me tell you, when you see a tank pool who's super good at their job, it is absolutely scary, especially when they're pulling out the swords and they're freaking bouncing on you while hitting you with the swords and you literally just cannot do anything about it. It is the most infuriating shit on the planet. Up next is Devil Dinosaur, and this is going to be a little bit personal, but I absolutely cannot stand Devil Dinosaur. Hopefully you don't main this character. I just feel as a tank he's an absolute nightmare in my entire life, and I perma-ban him every single comp match because I am so sick and tired of seeing this character who absolutely destroys literally all of my characters. I main Rogue and Angela, and he absolutely obliterates these characters, and it's just not even fun to go against. But I do understand that most people are probably playing him just because of the vibes, just because he's fun. He's kind of a low-stress pick, so I do respect that aspect, but he is just an absolute thorn in my ass, and I'm already tired of seeing this character. Up next is Doctor Strange, and for a lot of Doctor Strange mains, I think there's just nothing really going on in their brain, to be honest. 90% of the time, they're just a shield battery. That's all they're doing. They're just holding up their shield until it cracks, and then they're walking back, throwing an occasional couple attacks out, and then holding the shield back up. But I have seen some absurdly cracked Doctor Strange mains that literally carried entire matches, especially when you find a Demon Strange with the portals and they're just on point with their portals. They can single-handedly win games if they know how to use their portals super well. Very rare and very, very impressive, and I honestly aspire to get that good at Strange someday. Emma Frost mains, we all know why you're playing Emma Frost. Let's cut the crap. That's mommy right there, absolutely. But there's also the side benefit, the much smaller side benefit, that she's actually very good in comp, in my opinion. That's at least who I main. I've got all the way up to Diamond with her. About 99% of the time, I'm landing my Carbon Crushes and kicks, and then 99% of the time, I'm missing my Psychic Sentient Seizing you know, that crazy ass thing where you grab the diamond out of him and you do damage to it. Overall, she's a very well-rounded tank in my opinion. She's one of the easier ones to pick up, not too much happening with her. You just got to know when to use your cooldowns right, and yeah, there's really not too much to say about her. I think all Groot players are Pokemon players, because what do you mean you don't want to play a giant tree that says I am Groot? Just like all Pokemon say their own names, Groot says his own name. So that's pretty straightforward. Who wouldn't want to play a big ass tree at some point? I think everybody tries this hero out, and it's very fun to use the walls in creative and engaging ways to hit flank spots and things like that. And he's overall just a really fun and well-rounded pick, and you really can't go wrong with him. He's one of the best tanks in the game. Magneto mains, there's pretty much two people who pick Magneto mains. There's the people who pick him because he's hard meta and they think he's the best tank option available. And then there's the people who actually just really love Magneto and love his character and absolutely love his ult. He does have a cool ultimate ability. I really do fuck with that ult. But there's a subsection of people who absolutely hate to play this man but think he's absolutely one of the best, and he is one of the best. So they just grit their teeth and bear it and sweat through it and play Magneto because they think that that's the best option. But yeah, some of you guys wait a little too long to use your ultimates because you're really just using them to cancel out other people's ultimates. And I get it, that's a good aspect to it, but like sometimes it'll just be an eternal struggle between Punisher holding his ult and the enemy Magneto holding his ult, and you just go through the entire match where neither one of you are using your ults because you're waiting for the other to use their ult. It's so funny to me, but also so like draining at the same time. Up next we have Penny, and Penny Parker mains are actually low-key pretty chill, but for a different reason. That's because they really don't want to do anything at all. They're kind of like AFK, letting the game play itself for them. I think Penny, out of all the tanks here, is the most brain off tank. All you do is shit out your mine factory and you shit out the little E-mines that do a lot more damage, and pretty much it does all the killing for you. If you look at a Penny scoreboard and they have 40 kills, 39 of them are going to be coming from their mines. And the other one kill they got is just from holding the M1 fire button and just spamming it into the oncoming enemy line. Now granted, that really only does work at the lower levels in the game. Once you get up to the higher levels, you actually have to use your brain, use your webs and shit like that, but let's be honest, I never really see Penny Parker mains that high in this game. Up next, we have Rogue mains. We all know why you play Rogue. Don't think you're slick. It's same with Emma, same with Angela. These are absolute mommies. But at the end of the day, most Rogue mains are pretty just chill, and they want to just smash some skulls in with their fists and their kicks, and they want to take it all, you know what I mean? You're really just here to vibe and have a good time, because at the end of the day, she's not a very good tank. You can't use her in like 90% of team comps. If you don't have a shield tank, you're going to get eaten alive. If you don't have Gambit team up, you're going to get eaten alive. If you're literally not paired with any other tank, you're going to get eaten alive. Very, very, very few select Rogue mains can actually dominate and take the battlefield on their own, and she's just such a hard character to use, especially just like Angela, where if you get hit by one of Thing's punches, literally half of your kit vanishes instantly, and it's just like, my god, why am I playing this character at all? Please, NetEase, buff my girl Rogue so she's actually usable for once. So here's the thing. Thing mains are absolutely just like Rogue mains. They're just here to punch the shit out of stuff. No matter how bad the tank is, you just want to punch shit. And I really respect that, especially for Thing mains. Thing is honestly a personal thorn in my side because I play a lot of Angela too, and he just absolutely shreds her by knocking her to the ground. So annoying, but just being able to charge up that big ass right-handed haymaker and fucking right in somebody's face is absolutely beautiful. So I gotta give him huge props for that. Anybody who plays him got big respect in my books. Up next we got Thor, and Thor mains, man, I just feel bad for you. I mean, he's just not that great at the end of the day. A lot of the tanks in this game I feel really aren't that good, but man, Thor absolutely gets eaten alive non-stop. So I commend you for your effort for playing this character. He's a cool character. He's got a really solid ult for a tank. It's at least interesting and unique instead of a boring ass CC ult. But at the end of the day, man, if you don't have a shield tank, you really can't play this tank at all because you're just going to get absolutely chewed up and spit out. You literally have to min-max your hammer to get in and out of trouble quick. And then up last, we have Venom mains. Venom mains are some of the most annoying people on the planet. And that comes from me. I do main Venom occasionally from time to time. But man, he is literally the most brain-off tank out of everybody. all you do is shift, hit your swing in, dive on the healers, pop your little tendril grab, try to kill a healer, and then anytime you're about to lose, anytime somebody's actually about to kill you, you just press E and say nuh-uh, and then hit your shift swing and get out again and retreat to your healers and heal. If you have any deaths on this character, something has gone catastrophically wrong. Either you got hit by like 12 ults at once, or you got chain CC stunned into oblivion and you couldn't make it out. So that does it. That's what your Marvel Rivals Vanguard main says about you. Up next, we'll do Strategist, and then after that, we will do DPS. We'll save DPS for last because there's literally a trillion DPS, and that video is probably going to be like an hour long, and I really don't have time for that right now. So I'll see you guys in the next one.